If you make everybody that you meet feel special, you are going to fall into the habit of not being able to let go of simple connections. You need to be able to differentiate between who in your life is actually special and need to be treated special and who in your life isn't but still need to be treated with kindness.
Welcome back to another episode of Tavi Talks. Today's video is actually really different for me because I'm recording before I go to work opposed to when I get home. So I'm curious to see if there's a difference in my energy. So if you watched some of my other videos, let me know if you feel like there's a significant difference in the way I present on camera being early in the morning opposed to after I get off of work. You know the drill. I got my notes, I got my computer in case I need to look anything up. So I'm going to be inserting a clip from TikTok that I saw that inspired this video.
If you make everybody that you meet feel special, you are going to fall into the habit of not being able to let go of simple connections. You need to be able to differentiate between who in your life is actually special and need to be treated special and who in your life isn't but still need to be treated with kindness.
Whew. That, I immediately seen it and I commented on the creator. I want to be able to say the creator's name in the video. So what is his name or their name? I don't know what their pronouns are. Forever Keys. When I seen Forever Keys' video on my FYP, I literally sighed because that is such great advice. And that's something that I've honestly been working on. I was ranting to my best friend after one of my situationships or relationships ended. Well, I've only really had one situationship. The rest were either talking stages in college or actual boyfriend, girlfriend. So this might have been one of those moved really fast boyfriend, girlfriend ones. And I told my best friend, I said, I feel like I treat men so special that they forget that I'm special too. And that's really frustrating because I grew up with that golden rule kind of treat others the way you want to be treated. And I applied that in my dating life thinking, hey, if I show up with kindness and intentionality and consideration and communication, I'm going to get that back. And that's not the case. So sometimes I feel it's important that we unlearn things contextually, because in context, treat others the way you want to be treated is great advice. But in a situation or a romantic relationship where I was being treated unfairly, I was being treated with inconsistency, with lying, with cheating, or whatever the situation is, verbal put downs or, mistreatment of the way they spoke to me, I didn't need to continue to treat them with loyalty or love. I needed to just remove myself, and I didn't. I used to stay for a lot. It's important to prioritize ourselves. It's important to have a strong and confident self-view of ourselves when we're entering these friendships and romantic relationships or potential romantic relationships. So that way, when we are being treated in a way that's different than how we view ourselves, because we should be the love of our lives. And if someone is starting to treat us in a way that doesn't represent that, it's time to have a conversation and give them space to correct it. But ultimately, if it's a pattern of behavior of mistreatment and you feel like you've done all you can and we feel like we've done all we can, we have to be okay with walking away. And sometimes if it's a choice between breaking your own heart and walking away or continually being mistreated, continually being dogged out, might as well go on, break your own heart, walk away, let yourself feel the feels, cry, and then heal and get over it. I also really love Pinterest. I want to say that. I think I've said that in a couple of videos. I love Pinterest. But I deleted all my social media and for a whole year. And so I was just on Pinterest looking at different quotes and making different boards, areas in my mind that I wanted to refresh and renew and create different neural pathways so I can start to make different decisions. And the mind is a powerful place. So Pinterest has really been a phenomenal tool for me because I have these different folders and I'm just constantly looking at these affirmations and these guiding questions or advice or inspiration. And yeah, I love Pinterest. And one of the things I saw on Pinterest was sometimes we treat partners in relationships very good or well because, okay, hold on. I'm trying to remember how it was phrased. Maybe I should I'm going to just try to find the pin. Hold on. Okay, I found it and I put some more lip gloss on. We are ready to go. Let's do this. Oh, why is it not showing up? Anyways, I'm glad I looked because basically, and I'm going to insert the quote, but it talks about the idea that potential isn't real. It's you projecting what you would do in someone's position. So in the event that you were in a romantic relationship with yourself, if you find yourself treating that person way beyond and above what reciprocation is, it's because you deep down, you see yourself as special and you know your worth and you know that you are deserving of kindness and consideration and consistency. And I knew that deep down, but instead of sitting with that and then looking at the way I was being treated and deciding that they didn't match up and it was just best for me to leave those past situations, I stayed and continued to treat those people as if they were special, which everyone's special in their own right. But I continued to treat them in a high regard. I continued to pour love and grace and forgiveness and all of these things because deep down I knew my worth and I wanted them to treat me the way I wanted to be treated. And so everything that I've talked about thus far, the golden rule of treat others the way you want to be treated and projecting my worth and specialness onto them. And I was just giving my power away over and over again. And I was in a work meeting and one of the managers said to think about your energy like it's currency. And I really love that idea that, okay, I wouldn't just open Apple Pay or Cash App or take cash out of the ATM and just keep giving somebody $20, $100, $1 here, $1 there, $5 here. You know, I wouldn't keep doing that if I knew they were never going to pay me back, if I knew that in a time of trouble that I couldn't call on them for money. I wouldn't keep doing that. So why am I doing that with my time? So it's important to decide what it's important to know that you are the most important person in your life. You have your opinion, your self-view, your thoughts of yourself have to be the highest. You have to become the love of your life. You have to become your best friend. And that's not to say isolate from everyone else, but it's to say that no one knows you better than you know yourself. So hold yourself in a high regard. Don't let nobody just treat you any kind of way. And I'm talking and I'm pointing at the camera. But this is all advice that I've been learning over the past year. I have to be the love of my life. I have to say, actually, absolutely not. You're insane and I'm not going to let you treat me any kind of way and I would rather leave. I'd rather cry for months in on months out than continue to let you keep playing in my face like this. I've gone through it. I'm not talking about anything that I have not wrestled with. The video diaries that will never see the light of day where I'm snot nose crying, raspy voice because I'm just trying to understand why a person treated me so terribly when I was nothing but sweet, love, caring, and kind. So, zooming out, now that I gathered you and we together, do not treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a standard for the way in which you want to treat others with kindness and consideration. And then hold yourself accountable through authenticity and adaptability to say, hey, in this moment, I did not treat this person the way I should have. Let me go acknowledge that. Let me figure out the why behind that. Let me apologize to them and let me pivot. And then if someone is treating you the way you don't want to be treated and someone is not meeting your expectations and you realize you've been spending a whole lot of energetic currency on them, it's time to zoom out and see, do I need to leave this situation? Have I communicated my needs enough and given this person enough time to make a change? And if they aren't making a change, then what does that say about the way they view me? And what does it say about the way that I view myself by continuing to let them treat me this way? You are special. You deserve someone who's going to show up and care for you. You deserve someone who puts notes in your contact in their name so they can, by your name, so they can remember things that you've said. You deserve someone who does the little things for you to take it off of your plate. You deserve big gestures. You deserve cuddles and love. You deserve a friend that listens to you, that acknowledges when they've hurt you, who talks to you with kindness, but that holds you accountable and calls you higher and lets you know when there's an opportunity for growth. And you also need to be that for other people. I deserve those things, and I need to be that for other people. I have to, the way that I view myself and the confidence and the trust that I have within myself and the way I view the love that I have for myself needs to be reflective in the way that I treat my friends and my family and eventually my romantic partner when I start dating again. So ask yourself, okay, am I treating this person special because they've demonstrated a pattern of reciprocation and I like the way that they treat me, and this is a relationship or friendship or connection that I feel is fruitful for me to spend my energy and invest my energy? Or am I treating them special in hopes that they finally see me as worthy and finally see me as special and then decide to match my energy? And when you ask yourself that, it might open up an opportunity to kind of trace that thread to figure out the why. Why is it that I am trying to prove that I'm worthy? What other dynamics and connections in my younger years, my teenage years, or my childhood did I begin to see that I needed to show and prove to someone that I'm worthy of love? And so you can begin to kind of unpack those simultaneously and ultimately be in a position yourself to walk away from unhealthy connections and fall deeper in love with yourself. So I appreciate Forever Keys for making that TikTok, and I'm grateful for this journey and what it's teaching me. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Yeah, this was meant to be just kind of a short video around just reminding us, you and I, that we are special, and the way we are treated by other people sometimes doesn't reflect that, but that doesn't make it any less true. It's just a reflection of the way they view us, and the way they view us is not more important than the way we view us. So I hope that you have a great rest of your day or night, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Tavi Talk.